Well, as a believer, of course I would say God is good. I mean, when we look at the biblical narrative in the book of Genesis, the very first book of the Bible, we don't even get out of chapter 1, and like 7 different times God says it's good, speaking of all that he created, the world and everything in it. However, that goodness becomes difficult to see, for us to see, when we look at the world around us and we see natural disasters, disease, suffering, starvation, all these things that would lead us to believe that God, in fact, is not good. And so the reality that we end up wrestling with. But I guess in all of that, here's what I would encourage us to think about. Despite the hurt, despite the suffering and all the bad things that we either read about in the Bible or we experience in our lives, one thing that we need to learn or really lean into is that God did not abandon us. He didn't abandon his creation. We learn this from Philippians 2. Instead, he actually took on human flesh. He became one of us. He was a God who didn't abandon us, but rather pursued us. And when I think about that, it really makes me beg the question, what does that say about the nature of God?